home studio engineers, thank you so much for checking out the Home Recording Network, where I try my best to save you from the struggles I went through early on in my audio career. The idea for this video came about when someone asked how they could get rid of the room sound in their vocal track. And over the years, I've seen a lot of people with this same exact question. Basically, this person is recording vocals in their home and the microphone is picking up all the bad reverb from the sound bouncing off all the walls in the room while the vocalist is singing. So as someone who has a big live room, I have run into this problem myself, and I'm gonna show you how I solved the issue. But first, if you like this video or it helps you out in any way, please make sure to like and subscribe so I can continue to grow my channel and reach more people that need help. Now first, I want to urge people away from buying these vocal isolation shields that you see out there, because they are basically a scam and have virtually no effect on the sound that you're recording, and I have examples to prove this. Now, when I first moved into this studio, I was really excited to track drums in here because I knew they would sound super big, but I feared that the room would not be great for tracking vocals, and as it turned out, I was right. The mic was just picking up too much of the room, and when I went to compress my vocals in the mix, all of that room sound just jumped right to the forefront, and the vocal sounded very messy. And some people might say, well, why don't you just use a dynamic microphone instead of a condenser so that you're not picking up too much of the room sound? Well, I was already using my go-to vocal mic, the SM7B right here, and I have to tell you guys, while dynamic microphones aren't as sensitive as condenser mics, they still do pick up a good amount of the room that you're recording in. And again, I have some examples for you guys, so why don't we hop in the DAW and I'll show you guys how I eventually solve this problem. All right, so what I have here is basically 4 test tracks with 4 different setups. And what I did was just kind of speak into the microphone in my live room so that you guys can hear the room sound and hear what happens with these different setups. Now, for the first test, what I did was basically just set the microphone up in the room. There is no additional isolation or acoustic treatment. It's just the microphone in the room. So let's hear what that sounds like. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3 4. Now there you can just hear a ton of the room. And again, with all these examples, I'm just using an SM7B. I'm not using a large diaphragm condenser or anything like that. But the microphone is still picking up a ton of the room. And if we were to actually add some compression like we would in the mix, that room sound is going to jump right to the forefront, because when you compress, everything that's quieter in the track is going to be brought up in volume. So let's listen with some compression on this. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3 4. Yeah, and that's really going to hurt your recording. That's not going to fly. All that room sound is just going to muddy up your mix, and we want a really nice isolated vocal. Now, let's move on to the second test I did, and I'll tell you a little bit about this setup. With this setup, I put a Versafold acoustical room divider right behind the microphone. So the microphone is tucked in there real nicely. And what this is emulating is one of those vocal isolation shields that you see out there that go behind the microphone. But this is even adding more acoustics, so it's a much bigger shield. So when we listen to this, we can hear that this still isn't doing the job correctly. So you still hear a ton of the room. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3 4. Now we still hear a ton of that room, like I said, And if we were to add some compression here, again, all that room sound is going to be brought to the forefront. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Essentially, there is no difference between the first track and this track. So you can't tell me that one of those vocal isolation shields is going to have any effect on your sound because, like I said, this is a really long acoustical shield. It's actually doing more work than one of those small isolation shields would actually do. So don't waste your money on buying one of those. It's not going to help you out at all. Now, for the third example, what I did was brought another one of those acoustical room dividers into play, and I basically enclosed the microphone in between the two. And again, you're going to see that this isn't really helping us out much. You're still hearing a ton of the room sound. I believe it's a tiny bit better, but again, this isn't going to fly in your recording. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can hear that room sound is a bit better, but again, if we add our compressor in, all of that room sound is going to get amplified. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for the final example here, we have the same setup as the third track we just went over, but all I did was just throw a blanket over the top, and it's not even a real heavy blanket. And listen to this. There is virtually no room sound in the track. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what we can do is just hear the difference in between the fourth track and the third track. That blanket just makes a huge difference. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this could probably be even a little bit better if I used a heavier blanket or something like that. But I know from recording in here in the past 6 months that this is working. I can now compress this vocal track. It's not going to amp up the room sound too much. And the key here is that we have something all around the microphone. You know, it's not just the back of the mic or the front of the mic that you have to protect. It's above the mic, below the mic, everything. You need some sort of enclosure to combat this room sound. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out and purchase the VersaFold product that I have because they were actually very expensive and quite overpriced in my opinion. I just wanted to show you guys that it is about the enclosure and that some of these products that are out there that only shield, you know, the back of the microphone, things like that, those are kind of a waste of money. You need some sort of enclosure when you're recording vocals to prevent this room sound from getting in. Now you could probably build your own or find a cheaper product. There's probably a bunch out there, but the key here is, you know, complete isolation. Now, when I say isolation, I'm talking about everything from the sides of the mic to above you, right? The mic picks up everything around you. So it's not just about protecting the back or the front of the mic. You really need complete isolation. And even if you use, you know, an SM7B like I'm talking into right now, it still picks up a ton of the room. I mean, right here, I could click my mouse and you could probably still hear that. It's probably still very audible. And this is one of the most focused mics out there, and it's still picking that up. So microphones are microphones. They're meant to pick up audio signals. So they're gonna pick up the room that you're recording in, no matter which one you're using. My main point here is don't go out and buy any of those products that you see out there that say they're gonna, you know, completely get rid of that room sound, because they're probably not. But also, you might not be recording in as big of a room as I am. you might be recording in a bedroom with, a bed in it and a lot of, and like maybe a couch or something like that. A lot of that stuff does, pick up some of that sound and suck some of that room reverb up. So you might not have as big of a problem as I have, but I still think enclosing your singer in some sort of booth is definitely the way to go and is going to get you a cleaner vocal track in the end. That's it. If you have any other questions, be sure to reach out and I'd be happy to help you. Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to download your free Ultimate Home Studio Mix Guide with your go-to EQ and compression settings for all your tracks. And also be sure to register for my free online mix training that I hold a couple times a week so that you can learn how to make radio quality music from your home without breaking the bank.